What's good, everybody? Welcome back to Bearcat Den. My name is Michael, and I'm here with Victoria and Ashanti. And today we are going to be talking about the Jets versus the Cardinals and the Giants versus the Panthers, along with some of the things that happened at the NFL trade deadline. And then also we're going to touch a little bit upon the MLB offseason a little bit. Nothing crazy. So the kickoff, we are talking about the Jets versus the Cardinals. They play on Sunday at 4:25. I do think that regardless of like what happens in this game, I think that it doesn't help the
It doesn't
Jets
help them
in any sort of scenario.
And there it is.
All right, so honestly, nah, let me not do that. Okay. Now I'm gonna be an optimistic Jet fan now. Okay.
Oh my God,
Nah.
You
guys.
should be, since
All
you're
right.
gonna
Yes.
go
So,
see
listen,
the
You
if
game.
we-
guys literally
listen,
won on Halloween.
All right, listen. If we
Yeah.
blow off the Cardinals, go on a run, make the playoffs as a wild card 9-8 team, I'm so for it.
9-18.
9-18.
Yeah, 9-8 team. But yeah, I honestly do think that the Jets are gonna beat the Cardinals.
I'm just looking at the Cardinals record. Jets are 3-6, and Cardinals are 5-4.
Cardinals are a fugazi team.
Okay.
Fugazi means fake.
How a fake team?
What
What does that even mean?
As in,
They're a real
sorry, their
NFL
record. Sorry,
team.
their record is fugazi
Okay, so why are you saying
How
the
is the
record's fake?
record fake?
because of all their matchups that they have played.
You want me to? Okay, I pulled them up. Hold up. Who they played throughout the weeks? They've played since regular season. They played the Bills, the Rams, the Lions, the Commanders, the 49ers, the Packers, the Chargers, the Dolphins, the Bears, and now they face the Jets. So how, based off the teams I just named to you that they faced to have their said record, how is it fake?
So they beat up on an injured 49ers team, and they just
That sounds
struggled
like
to
a
get over the hump.
49ers fault. You can't.
What do you mean?
Okay,
I
it's the same predicament
understand.
I've told you before when we talk about sports. When a team player is injured, or if it's a team is injured, you cannot use that against the other team who won.
Okay, so then. To the Dolphins' perspective, they beat the Dolphins by 1. They've had a backup quarterback.
They lost NFL man. Braxton. Braxton.
Okay,
Oh,
seriously? You're calling the team fake because they beat a worse off team?
Because they're injured.
They should be
Yes.
beating a worse off team. Everyone should be beating a worse off team. That's not like
no, yeah,
that doesn't
I
prove
agree.
anything that
But
you're
the thing
saying.
is that if they were at full strength, they should not be where they are
Okay. Okay.
now.
If
That's the
they
whole point.
But this goes back to what I've talked to you about multiple times.
I love how we
Mike.
just kick off an argument.
Bro, because you just generalize everything way too much.
Bro, like, come on, like.
They lost to the Saints in week 1.
And then the Saints
No,
go
sorry, I lied.
marching in. They haven't played the Saints yet.
Preseason. Sorry, I was thinking about preseason.
You see?
See, like you're just jumping.
Yeah.
As per
Yo,
usual.
I really am.
As
No,
per usual,
as
you're
per
just
usual.
jumping around. Like
Nah, but on like
Their last 4 games, I could tell you, okay, they beat the
Bears,
Bears.
they're not that good.
Obviously. They beat
The
the Dolphins.
don't have a
They
quarterback.
beat the Chargers.
I'll give them that one.
And they
They lost to the Packers.
lost. Yeah.
They got blown out by the Packers.
I'm surprised how close
I think
some of these
Out of those 4
scores are.
games, the real victory in that 4 games was the Chargers.
The Chargers.
Because I think
So you take a 15-17. They won 17-15, correct? You take that, but you can't give them the benefit of the doubts that they're gonna beat the Jets.
no.
yeah, the Jets have been like
The Jets has been so far this season the most flakiest team in NFL.
You want to talk about fake?
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah,
no matter what
we are
they
fake.
do, it does not change the overall outcome.
I mean, listen, the only way the Cardinals would win the game is if they start up the run game, and because I know the Jets cannot defend the run for their lives on it. So that's exactly what we spoke about last week with the key for the Texans to win the Jet game Thursday night, and they have.
Okay.
Establish that run game. But the thing is that they ended up passing more and ran away from it. They stopped what worked. If the Cardinals were smart, they would run the ball down our throats and just
But my
keep
dude,
it.
this game happens this Saturday.
It happens Sunday.
It's gonna happen Sunday.
Yeah.
This game is happening
Yeah.
Sunday. So
I don't think the ball is going to be passed a lot. I'm being honest. I really don't think so.
okay.
Him and
Score
Marvin-
prediction
him and
as a Jet.
Him and Marvin Harrison haven't been together on the same page lately. Him and Michael Wilson are iffy. The only real target on that team is Trey McBride right now. But
Back to what I'm saying. What is your score prediction?
my score prediction of the game,
I low-key feel like it's not gonna be a blowout.
I think we win by a touchdown.
You think you?
Yeah,
That's right.
it's going to be a
I feel like
touchdown.
it's gonna be a close game, but I feel like it's also gonna be a game where it's gonna be.
I think we win by 7, depending on what happens during the game. If the Cardinals end up passing it rather than establishing the run game first, yeah, we're blowing them out.
How do you feel about this?
I think the problem with the Jets is they've showed like Halloween,
Yeah.
that win, like these random wins which give hope. The odds are never in their favor
So
ever.
So like I said last week, we're back in that little Jet cycle of winning meaningless games.
Oh Lord Jesus
Yeah,
Christ! He's
but
gonna throw
we
this
no
at us.
because you're going all the way to like
You said the season no
postseason.
Yeah, you're
shit.
saying the
That's
season
not
wasn't
the
even
same thing.
existing at this
Yeah, yeah,
point.
no.
You're thinking about
You're think-
2025
Yeah,
season
you're
at this
already
point.
Oh,
thinking
yeah.
of 2025. We're talking about right here, right now. All I'm saying is I don't understand how anyone can, with confidence, bet anything on the Jets because, as Ashanti said, they are the flakiest team in the NFL right now. Sorry to say it.
Oh no, I agree. They have been
So-
they've been the biggest letdown in the NFL. Trust me, I know this.
I think ESPN has made too many trolls about this too. Talking about how what was the last thing they posted on their TikTok? I think there was like they were playing around with like the Jets something, and it was like ESPN violated the Jets, and I feel like they still like everything they post about the Jets. I feel like it has always been negative so far, and if that doesn't tell you how their season's going, I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, listen, the only positive thing about this team is Garrett Wilson right now. That's about it.
I
I'm being
love
honest.
How everybody has had so much hope for Aaron Rodgers, and look at him now, guys. He's old. Let him retired.
I mean,
Do
listen.
a Tom Brady, please.
Okay.
You don't need another ring.
I mean, listen. He hasn't been doing that bad in the last 3 games.
Mhm.
So he hasn't been doing that bad, but some of his decisions were
Yeah.
questionable. That's what I would say. He has to stop making. I feel like he has to stop playing hero ball and just let his guys go to work and trust his wide receivers. Because one of them got traded because he said that he felt like he didn't have the chemistry with Rodgers because he was out for OTAs and training camp being Mike Williams.
Mhm.
And that's why he went to Pittsburgh. The whole point is that you have to trust your guys to make a play. Like, he trusted Devontae Adams to make a play. Yes, Garrett Wilson made a phenomenal play, possibly the catch of the year. Again, during the Texans game, like, he said in his postgame interview, he just threw it up and said, he's over there. He's out there somewhere. That's what you have to do. You have to let them go up and make a play, or else you're going to convert on 3rd downs, 4th downs, and 3-and-out drives lead to punts, and that's not how we win games.
Mhm.
Because the race to 20 is not there. You can't win a game by kicking field goals unless if the team's really shit. Genuinely, you would have to be playing the 0-17 Browns or the 0-16 Lions, whatever the case may
Not
be.
even. Maybe they're playing maybe they play flag football.
You still put up more points. They'll still put up more points. My whole point is that you have to trust your guys to make a play. And if you can't do that, then that's how you lose ball games. And you use your receivers to their advantages, not disadvantages.
Yeah.
Like if you have a guy who's 6'4", he's a 50-50 ball guy. He's not a low point guy. You throw it to the shorter receivers, the low points, because they're closer. They could make the play better than somebody who's 6'4".
Okay, what's wrong with 6'4" people?
There's nothing wrong with 6'4" people, but the thing
Okay.
no, but the thing is that in the NFL,
No, the way you said it sounded like you were attacking people who are 5.
no, I'm not.
Who's 6'4"?
No, but my whole point was that if you're 6'4", a 6'4" wide receiver, you're a 50-50 ball guy. There's no way you're gonna get down low to catch a ball. Like, it's not ideal.
It's like him going grandma bowling.
What?
You know how you go bowling, like you go underhand?
Yeah.
Like that's how he will catch a low ball.
Yeah. You would have to dive.
You don't like my reference?
I do.
Sound like he's a hater.
Well, like, what are you guys' thoughts on this game? Like, expectations. You've heard mine, and we've argued about it,
Jets.
but get some outside opinions.
I feel like the game is going to be, I don't want to say as close as you think it is. You're saying like a touchdown is going to separate the scores.
Yeah.
I
I don't think so either.
I mean, the Jets are 2.5 or 2-point favorites.
Yeah, but it's the same way. You're going to say this now. It's the same way how I said the Giants were going to lose last week by like, what, 10, 20? And we only lost by like, what, 2? Like 2, 3? And like
You were losing by 20.
We
at
were
some point.
losing by 20 at some point. I wasn't so wrong. But like, you're going to come back and be like, damn, I was wrong. They did worse than I imagined. If they don't take advantage of the Cardinals' defensive line, if they don't try breaking that down, I don't think the score is going to be as close. I think it's going to be more of like a 10-point deficit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, for your sake, since you're gonna go see this game, I hope they win just for that. But
Oh, thanks.
I also don't think it's gonna be like a 2-point difference. We're looking at least like Ashanti said, a bigger deficit for sure.
All right. All right.
We broke him. He looks so
like
sad.
literally in the cook.
No, you don't get to pull that card because
No,
you're
okay.
ironically their biggest fan
While also
and
being their biggest hater.
like, biggest hater
Okay,
at the
okay.
same time.
So you're
So
saying you're saying the Jets are gonna lose?
No, I don't know who's gonna win. I just don't think the game is gonna be extremely close.
I think they're going to lose.
You think the Jets are gonna lose?
I think they're going to
Okay.
lose. But
I
it's not
wouldn't
gonna,
be surprised if
Okay.
they
But the
lost.
score is not going to be like a touchdown difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You want to talk shit about the Giants? Like, come on, put it on me. Put it on me. How you feel about
I mean, you're playing the worst team in the NFL right now. So
the Panthers?
the Giants are playing the Panthers this week, and I do think that the Giants are going to mollywop them. At least they should
I would
mollywop.
hope.
Our defensive line is better than our offensive line. Daniel Jones actually did so good last week, guys.
Timeout
I'd probably switched it.
in the second half, not the first half.
No.
After the first half, he had 0 passing yards.
But I'm not talking about the second half.
0.
Okay, but this is probably the
Yes,
solid we've seen him.
See, I agree. He did turn it around in the second half, but 0 passing yards after the first half.
Okay, valid.
Terrible. You cannot blame the O-line for poor quarterback play.
Okay, but you kind of can. Because O-line, you have to help your quarterback. If you're not helping your quarterback, then what's the point?
I mean, I feel like that they did a pretty good job at it,
Yeah, they really did.
and especially against the Commanders.
Jaden Daniels. Count your days.
He's him.
He is him, but count your days. Because if it wasn't for him, I feel like we could have won that game. Because I was watching said game. And we were only down by like, the final score was what? 27-22.
Yeah.
We were ahead before this damn ass, decided to beat him and make a great play, But I can't hate on him. It's the same way how I say I can't hate on the Washington Commanders quarterback. I can't hate on him because he's probably the best quarterback right now in the division. Let me rephrase, in the division.
Okay.
Best quarterback in the division.
A good save.
I was gonna say like in the NFL, but I got a death scare. But no, I definitely would say that game was better than I thought. It did start off wonky with obviously the Commanders scoring first. Besides that, you had a 2-yard pass, then you had bigger things. Sexy Dexy, I don't know what he's doing. Why are you getting penalties for false starts? And I feel like it's Bendis for like
Sexy Dexy crazy.
because that's what we call him. That's literally what it is. It's like, and if you ask me honestly, when you have a nickname for a player that like everybody uses, their first name out my brain. But so far, I feel like every game so far this season has gotten a flag at the point of false start. And tell me if I'm wrong, Mike.
I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't tell you.
Anyways, it's the same way now I'm yapping about my team, but you see how the difference is. I'm being optimistic, but I already know personally I don't think this Giants team is gonna get us as far as last season Giants team. Last year Giants team was special. It's the same. It was very special, but it was a good game. It wasn't a bad game to watch. Neighbors is proving himself so much every week after week on that field. And even if you're not a Giants fan, I feel like you could say that.
I think he's gonna go insane this week against the Panthers.
I feel like
generally speaking, and if he doesn't, then that's all on Jones.
Yeah.
I think each game for the Giants comes down to whether if Daniel Jones
decides to be a good quarterback.
I think this game's a perfect opportunity. Yeah. You're playing against a very weak team right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Like the pressure should be very low.
It should be a low pressure game. And I feel like it should be a game where it's like the Giants take this opportunity to work out everything.
Exactly.
And figure out what works. It's a game where I would kind of say it's a practice. Like, let's say like in the sense of a practice game. You're going to put, obviously, your Daniel Jones as QB, but not be afraid to take risk within this game. Because if they do take the risk and they do also call, I'm not going to lie, play coordinator, I don't know what type of play he's been calling at the end zone. And I think I've texted you about this, Mike. It's a play where Daniel Jones is not receiving the ball. After the snap, Daniel Jones takes over a running back, like a wide receiver point.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't understand that play. I don't see the purpose of it still.
It's probably to kind of throw off the defense.
It throws me off and I'm watching it. Like, why am I seeing a wide receiver receiving the snap?
Yeah.
Like, it fucks with your head. And then you really think Daniel Jones is going to catch the ball?
I mean, he has a better chance of doing that than actually throwing the ball, to be honest.
I'd rather him fucking throw the ball than catch the ball. He could be Butterfingers, all I know.
Hey, he might be better.
You think he'd be better?
Yeah, maybe. No, but honestly, like, I feel like that this game is such an absolute layup at the moment.
If we don't win, guys.
Yeah, if you guys don't win, like, this is embarrassing, and I would take the approach of, like, ownership, like, stepping in and, like,
I will
like
hide
firing people, like, actually, like, firing people.
Yeah. I won't say
brutal.
fire our head coach. I won't say that.
No, I think that this would be like the final like straw. I feel like you don't make playoffs in back-to-back years. Like you're 2-7 now. You were 7-9 last year. Like,
but 7-9 last year to make it to facing the Vikings.
That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Is that really?
Yes. That was 2 years ago.
It's been 2 years since they made a playoff experience.
Yes.
You see.
I
had hope. I had hope.
See, but like the thing is that ownership should come in now, and like set the fire underneath their asses a little bit. Like, hey, like you're on the hot seat now, and especially like if they, like I said, if they lose to like the Panthers, it's
my jersey will go in the back of my closet and not see daylight.
Which one? Daniel Jones?
No, I don't even remember who I have.
Just give it a goodwill.
First of all, you know how expensive jerseys are? Like, every jersey I own.
Yes, I do.
Every jersey I owned, my MLB jerseys, I thrifted. I thrifted both of them. My Mets and the Red Sox.
That's
one I found.
That's fire.
I know, right? And it was like for two was half the price of one jersey you would buy on MLB. Talk to me nice. But me put my jersey on Goodwill is crazy. That's like me telling you to go put your jersey in Goodwill, because I think that is worse.
I have.
For who?
What?
Yeah.
Your Jets.
Yeah.
This season.
No, not this season.
What, to make room for more? Like, I'm confused.
If they're not on the team no more, sign R. Like, you kidding me?
But that's why you don't get the ones with their names in the back. You just get a number.
Nah.
No, I like the ones with the names in the back.
Yeah.
That's very
Then-
I still have
controversial.
Joey B's from LSU.
That's
his.
fu-
I have his
that's a
LSU
fire.
That's a fire jersey.
That's a fu-
Exactly.
Is it the yellow?
No, it's the white.
Wait.
Oh, that's fire.
Yeah, like I'm not
What?
getting rid of that just because
Hell
he's
no.
not
Oh,
playing
no,
for
no.
LSU.
Oh, no, that's
like,
fire.
Are you
That's
kidding me?
No, that's
Yeah.
actually like fire. I
Yeah.
love the college
I feel like
jerseys.
I only have two jerseys that actually have names on them.
Like my Zach Wilson jersey is definitely going to Goodwill, 100%.
Okay.
Like
I
something
mean,
like you get
fine.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not
To
saying.
an extent,
Listen, I'm not saying
yes.
every jersey should go in Goodwill, but I'm
That's what
saying
you're
like
saying.
like a Zach Wilson jersey, like a Daniel Jones jersey. Yes.
I
But-
guess.
But
that
if
makes
it's like a
sense.
Victor Cruz jersey, I'll pick it up. I actually have one
Yeah, that's not bad.
because it's valid. I love Victor Cruz, but again, there's certain guys that you keep, there's certain guys you put in Goodwill.
All I'm saying is, Giants, if y'all don't win this week,
Nah, like
I will be like, I will come on Monday with an attitude, the biggest attitude.
nah, like back to what I was saying like before, like about ownership stepping in. Like Jets ownership stepped in, fired Saleh, and I think that
And it didn't
Dude.
do anything.
No,
Let
no,
the
no,
record
okay.
show.
No. I listen. I agree, but the thing is that I feel like that ownership needs to hold.
More
The coach-
accountability.
yes,
Yes.
yes.
I will say whatever our D-line coach is doing is great.
Yeah,
He is, you definitely have seen a major difference in our defensive line. Because usually it's been our offensive line that's been so solid, but our defensive line is not. But this year, I don't know what's going on with Daniel Jones because he's the main factor of why our O-line is not doing well. I feel like he's taking too long to get the ball out of his hands. Like after I feel like he's like playing around, if that makes sense. Like he holds the ball a little too long than a
Ki-
QB should.
can you say he's kind of second guessing his decision making at some points?
You could see it, yeah. Like you see how he goes, like he continues to do the same motion before he gets the ball out his hand. And most of the time, I feel like he waits so long that the person who's opened is no longer open because he took that time to like
Yeah,
second guess it. Like there was times I think last week games where Neighbors was open for a good minute and he took too long, so he couldn't throw it to Neighbors.
no, yeah. I mean, listen, like it comes to a point where like you have to know like where your guys are going to be, regardless if they're not open just yet, and just chuck it over there. The ball should be out in like what 2.3 seconds, not
I think it was like
not anywhere double. I feel like because like the thing is that if the longer you have the ball, the more you second guess yourself in your decision making. Obviously, it's costly. You've seen it with Daniel Jones multiple times. I've seen it multiple times with Aaron Rodgers and stuff like that. I've seen it multiple times with any quarterback. Like,
at least college is fulfilling the winning need in my eyes.
well, yeah, college football is like backyard football. Honestly, like
College
great.
football is great because the hunger of the players are so there. Like you don't see the dedication on some of the players you see now in the NFL than some people who are still like who are playing college.
no, yeah,
It's because when you're in college, you could still go up.
Yeah, and I feel like
Because you
when
could get drafted to the NFL. Then you
Yeah.
get to the NFL, it's like, okay,
I'm already
like,
here.
I'm here.
yeah.
It's-
Yeah, the Super Bowl, but like
Whoa.
whatever.
some people just know they're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. I hate to say it.
Oh, definitely.
yeah,
Like,
Es-
you know
espe-
the Super Bowl is not motivating the Jets.
they definitely
The
not.
Jets are not a college football team. They're a high school football team. Get it right.
I feel like maybe some high school football teams are even better than the Jets.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Honestly, but I'm happy for this week.
But I know some college football teams and high school football teams are better than the Panthers, though. So if you lose to them, then that'd be terrible.
Like I said, they have the same record as us. It's 2-7, if I'm correct. They have the same record. Their QB is also struggling.
Yeah.
So like it's two struggling quarterbacks facing each other.
Mhm.
Like it could only go so bad before I
yeah.
turn off the TV.
No, like honestly, like if a performance like last week happens again, like
we
if,
fumbled.
like-
We fumbled at the
like-
last
like
minute.
if you have a first half performance like last week against the Panthers, I just throw the towel in and be like, yeah, like
That's it.
fire everybody, blow it up, and
Like I
start from
said,
scratch.
I wouldn't fire our D line. I wouldn't fire
No,
our
no,
head coach, but I would fire a good amount of people on that.
No, yeah. Then changes are definitely needed to be made after that.
Yeah.
1,000%.
So what happened in the trade?
So the trade deadline approached
Was it on Tuesday?
on Tuesday. Yes.
Michael's very pumped about this.
Very pumped.
I mean, I don't know if I am pumped about this or like.
Why? Because of the players who got into your division.
Oh.
The Bears.
Hey, they could make a comeback.
The Bears are not in my division.
I'm not saying the Bears. Division, not like. I just mean division, not talking like
Oh, not talking about.
A and American and National. We're talking about that part. We're not talking about North, South, East, West. You're looking at me like I'm stupid.
Oh.
What the fuck?
But no, I'm talking about in the stance of like standings, not like on American and National. Like talking about that. And the Bears are in your division, if I'm like not in the division, but in the. Are they? Yeah, they're in an American league. I'm thinking about it as a football, baseball. You have the American Conference.
Yeah.
National Conference.
Yes.
I'm saying league because I just got a notification about something happening in the offseason.
I got you. But this actually affects your division a lot. Marshawn Lattimore went to the Commanders. The Saints got a 3rd, 4th, and a 6th round pick in 2025, and the Commanders received the Lattimore and a 5th round pick in 2025. I think this was a great trade on both ends for both teams because the Saints gained draft capital. They fired their head coach, Dennis Allen, and I feel like that whoever comes in next that is being interviewed,
they have play around.
Yes, they could play around with the draft picks and make it more appealing. As for the Commanders, they did need a starting cornerback because Forbes was not it at all.
Mm-mm.
I think Lattimore fits in perfectly, especially them being 7-2 right now.
I feel like it's gonna just make them a stronger team. To beat.
Yeah, like they're pushing for the division title. They're pushing for playoffs.
They're pushing for a Super Bowl appearance.
No, I agree. Yeah, like they're trying to make the run now, and they also regained a 5th round pick, so which is pretty good as well. Get a draft pick back, so you're really giving up 2 draft picks rather than 3. I feel like I do think that for the Commanders side, it couldn't get any better, from my understanding. But what are you guys' thoughts about this?
Commanders are just making a team that's so good this season, even more probably more undefeatable.
I mean, yeah, like they were projected to be like one of the worst in the league, and like
they took that shit and they ran with it. They're like, you're not calling me the worst?
Yeah, they literally said, hold my beer and I'll show you. Like, what? But I do feel like that, like on the Saints side of the trade, there's no going wrong.
Only 2 trades happened.
No, there's more.
Who else was got traded?
So Zadarius Smith got traded to the Lions.
Okay, the Lions need some help.
The Browns get a 2025 5th and a 2026 6th, and the Lions get Smith and a 2026 7th. I thought this was great because they lost Aiden Hutchinson due to his season-ending injury, so he wasn't coming back for the rest of the season. They needed help at pass rush, and I feel like with Zadarius Smith going right in there, it could fill in the hole until Hutch comes back, and along with like next season stuff like that, because I know he's still on the contract. That could be a force to be reckoned with for next season.
I feel like the draft this year is going to be very interesting. I feel like it's going to be very interesting to see what teams take who, especially with a lot of teams trading draft picks. Because there's never a set like order of draft pick.
No,
you just like you get whatever you get, and then you trade to either get a higher one or get a later one.
I mean, listen, it all depends on if you guys there or not. But like, obviously, we don't know that now. But that will come more towards draft season and like when prospects actually come out and like proper rankings after the NFL combine and stuff like that. So you will get a better idea of then. And then maybe we'll see more draft picks get moved around.
I feel like we haven't even heard who declared for the draft.
No, not yet. You gotta. I think you gotta wait until like the season's over for college football, and then you hear a lot.
Right now.
Yeah, it's very premature. I feel like still, but yeah, like the line get their pass rusher. The Browns are somewhat blowing up their defense to an extent. Again, you can't go wrong with draft capital. Draft capital is like the best thing. I feel like I don't see any doubts about this besides for like also their Darius Smith is getting up there with age, but obviously age does play a factor within everybody.
Age plays a big factor, especially in football. And I'll say just because football is such a physical sport.
Yeah, and I love that we act like it doesn't.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, Rogers needs to retire.
Yeah, it's time to join Tom Brady, dude. Just join Fox.
Just
become
off the field.
just become an announcer or
that is insane how I'm getting attacked right now.
No, she
true.
has a point. It's such a physical sport. Your body at 40, late 30s, early 40s
is not going to be able to keep up.
It's not the same as these draft picks that are coming out of college.
Probably in the best. Probably in the best physique in their lives.
No, literally, when they're graduating and they're ready, they're at the best they're ever gonna look. Mm-hmm. They're at their best physical performance they're ever gonna be at.
It's the same.
And you want to compare them to someone twice their age?
Yeah, it's the same way.
No, who says I'm comparing? I'm not comparing anything.
No, I'm just saying, like, you're like, whoa, I'm getting attacked. No, it's just like basic biology.
Oh, I know that.
Like, get them off the field.
It's definitely the factor that comes into
I do
it.
agree, but the thing is that, like, also, like, for these older players, I feel like
all I'm gonna say, this is not MLB. MLB, you could still stay for a good minute when you're older, and it's helping you.
Yeah.
This sport is not the sport to be once you pass your late 30s.
I'm also not saying that there should be an age cutoff for the NFL where it's like we sing you happy birthday and then kick you off the team.
No.
I'm just saying.
That's mad funny. Because that's actually happened to a lot of guys.
It has.
I'm just saying.
Mad funny.
I'm just saying that, if you start underperforming, it's conveniently when you reach a certain age for a few seasons, that should be a sign that maybe your time is up.
I mean,
that's all.
See, I do agree, but the thing is that, like, also kind of disagree to an extent because it all depends on how they condition their body as well and the way they treat their body.
Again, and that's on them. So if you're an old guy and you're not doing the right things,
it's only like only so many concussions you could get. Like, I remember like
Tua's 20 something and he has what, four concussions already?
He has 4 concussions and refused to wear a guardian cap.
That's just a dumbass.
That right there says so much. And he's what, like 20? Like his mid-late 20s? Or he's old? Yeah, right? Mid-late 20s. And you have 4 concussions in
that's brutal.
2 seasons.
I mean, listen, guys are just more injury prone than others. There's no way around it. Like,
I know, but like sometimes age does play a factor into it. And also the position you're playing. Aaron Rodgers is in a position where
I get it.
You're going to get sacked, you're going to get attacked, and you got to sit there and get your ass back up.
No, I agree. But also the thing is that, like, again, he came off of a season-ending injury and he's trying to come back.
Not even season-ending. It was first.
No,
first.
No. I know that,
game
but
of
I'm
the
saying.
Season.
Listen, I'm
but
biased.
I'm saying it's season-ending injury.
Hater in general.
I'm just finding it funny that he gets injured within the first.
I could literally flip this over.
Okay.
Okay, it was Saquon Barkley when he tore his ACL, when he shattered his whole entire leg. He was shit the next year.
Yeah.
He was shit the next year.
He was shit the next year because it's his leg.
Yes.
Of course.
Aaron Rodgers is shit because of his leg.
Because it's a leg, but he is older.
No, I agree, but
so you can't kill this shit.
No, but
he's older.
No, I agree, but also the thing is that
leave Barkley out of this. Rodgers is older.
No. I agree with your statement, but what I'm trying to say is that it's the first year back because the thing is that they have to get into the right mental state back, the comfortability again, get into the groove of things again, and clearly
but
it's
if
shown.
You have had
look at Kirk Cousins. Hold on, look at Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins is balling out right now in Atlanta.
True.
Same injury, same everything.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get back to that mental state of getting hit because it puts that fear into people now Because Barkley even said it himself. He was scared to get hit.
Mhm.
He was scared to make plays.
Yeah.
He was scared to do anything.
Yeah.
And then the season after, he had a phenomenal season.
Yeah.
Left the Giants, went to the
Eagles.
and now he's on pace for what? Over 15 to 1,600
yards.
scrimmage
Yeah.
yards this season.
Yeah.
Jumping over defenders backwards. Like,
Bro.
are you kidding?
Bro, I'm sorry, but like I don't know what these marketing teams needs a raise. This season they're going off. Like I cannot mention it because I forget who game it was, but it was showing like somebody like upside down and somebody jumping over him.
Oh, it was Drake London and Amon-Ra St.
Yeah,
Brown
like
and Barkley
bro,
jumping over both of
yeah,
them.
like it's the way they like edit it. I'm sorry, but this is also where it comes into the fact that the NFL doesn't care about their mental health to a point. Because if they were scared to come back and have that physical setback, that's where you have to have them sit down and talk to somebody. Have them in a position where they try to overcome their fear, not by only being on the field, but by also doing it mentally. Because it's a mental block. It's not a physical
No,
block.
yes, I agree. I do agree with you to that. But also the thing is that with Kirk Cousins, he takes back watching quarterback way back when Kirk Cousins was on it. He took very good care of his mental health. So like I feel like he had a lot of an easier transition back onto the field and stuff like that. So I do agree with you to that purpose.
It's also the
But-
faculty he was in
No,
at the
yeah.
time was such an
No, yeah.
advocate.
But like also the thing is that like this is like your first major season-ending injury.
Mhm.
Obviously, it's going to take a toll on you a little bit.
Got a point.
And then plus it's always going to linger in you could be perfectly fine mentally and like getting ready to get hit and stuff like that, but there's always something in the back of your mind that's worried about it. Obviously, it has to click into their heads that they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point, though.
Let's change to our next segment about the MLB trade. The off season. I'm in love of what I'm hearing so far.
So the MLB offseason has kicked off, but no one has signed yet. But we know that Steve Cohen has checked in on Juan Soto, or is going to be checking in on Juan Soto by flying to California. Brian Cashman for the Yankees checked in on Pete Alonso, which he had said as well, and he also is interested in Blake Snell again.
I love how it says. I love how the first thing I see when I'm opening Twitter as we're speaking is Steve Cohen to meet with Juan Soto and Scott Barnes next week.
I mean, listen, like, I feel like
he is going to spend big money.
No, yeah, that's what happens when you have an owner who actually would like to spend.
I feel like if every MLB owner was not so scared of their tax bracket, Yankees, hence why you're thinking about letting go Juan Soto. It has been shown if the Yankees sign Juan Soto, they're fucking up their tax bracket and they're not gonna have enough money to get a first baseman since they're letting Anthony Rizzo walk.
See, the thing is that I feel like that from that perspective, I do think Juan Soto is gonna beat Ohtani's record-breaking contract.
He's in the Ohtani seat of this.
No, I agree,
season.
but I do feel like he's gonna get around $650 to $700 million. I do feel like
for how many years? Well, you think he's going to go?
10 plus.
You think 10 plus? Like
Yes.
you're thinking
10 to 14.
You're thinking like a Francisco Lindor type of contract.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's in his prime now. He's gonna make that money now. Like, I don't see
how you
any
feel
issue
about
with
this,
it.
Victoria. A Francisco Lindor contract to an outfielder.
Yes.
I understand when the Mets gave it to Francisco Lindor because he was also at his prime, and I understand that, and we're building around him.
Yeah, but Juan Soto is different than Lindor, big time.
I was going to get there.
Give her a minute.
Thank you.
Oh, now you know how I feel.
How you feel? We just know what you're gonna say because you repeat yourself.
Bro, every time we
Not the
talk about
same thing,
sports, it's the
Mike.
same thing.
Not the same thing.
Not the same thing. But like Soto is definitely he's 28, 27. He's very young. He's at his late 20s. He's coming into his prime years. He is probably one of the best outfielders in the league. And I feel like a lot of teams are going to look at him, but are enough teams that are going to give him the money he wants?
No, I agree. Like, but with him being 26, that's why I think you give that anywhere from 10 to 14-year contract to him.
I think it's been a while since we've seen like a 10 to 14-year contract.
Listen, Soto might do it. Genuinely speaking, he deserves it all.
I feel like
I feel like
his contract is probably going to be very similar to Otani's. I feel like it's
Yeah.
going to be what's Otani's, like 7 years? I don't even remember his contract. I know it's a lot.
I think it is a 7-year,
A 7-year contract with a year to opt after 4 years to opt, if I'm
But-
correct.
or is it a total of 14 years? Because the thing is that it's 7 playing years and
The-
7 back ended.
I see what you mean.
That's why it's 14 years.
Honestly, I think it is actually like officially 7. I could see Juan Soto being the same value as Shohei Ohtani was last off season, and I will say it's definitely going to be a lot on him. And let's see, the Giants could probably bring their asses out of nowhere
No, yeah.
like they did before.
Whatever teams that we've seen like in the race, like for Soto, it's gonna come down to either the Yankees or the Mets at the end of the day.
Honestly,
But if the Yankees do come close to whatever his highest offer is, I do think he will sign with the Yankees.
they haven't
I feel
say what his
But-
highest offer is, right?
no,
I think
no,
I
no.
know it's rumored that.
no. I know that.
As we
I'm just
speak,
saying.
Yeah, I know it's rumored as we speak that he's at like he might sign to like 6 million, like 600 million,
Okay,
if I'm
like,
correct.
Okay, so like
That's like where he's at, because that's what
Mhm.
they're saying for like rumored if we would sign him,
Yeah.
that's how much he's
See, like,
asking for.
like if the Yankees came close with 550 or like 575, then he'll take it with the Yankees. But the thing is that like it also like what you
Do
said
you
before.
really think he's gonna go back to a team that choked in the highest place that you could ever be at?
Yes, yes.
I mean,
I do.
Yeah, I agree with that because there's like that desire to get back.
Where you were at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
plus also it's the pinstripes. It's possibly one of the most iconic teams in baseball
So
history.
what
Let's be honest.
what about my blue and orange over here?
Your blue and orange hasn't came around.
Yeah,
because
Ashanti, I love you, but that's not
your
comparable
blue and
at
orange
all.
weren't a team until the Dodgers left Brooklyn.
Yeah,
So-
we
Yeah.
took the colors.
Like-
No, you didn't take the
No,
colors.
the color of it's
You took the blue.
We took the
He
blue.
took the blue.
We took the blue, and then I forgot where the orange came from. I think it was from another team because there was
Oh.
3 teams in New York at the time. It was, oh wait, it was the Giants, right? Giants and Dodgers were over here with the Yankees before they moved to California.
I have no clue. I know.
I know it was the
I know
Dodgers.
100%.
I feel like it was also the Giants.
Better
I-
fact check that.
I will fact check that as we're speaking.
Nah, but like again, like there's players say it all the time. Like there's no place like Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, but
Belonging in those pinstripes, like like let's be honest. Every kid growing up who plays baseball dreams of wearing the pinstripes. I'm just being honest, and it says a lot, and it shows how iconic the Yankees are, just as an organization as a whole. The Yankees do come close to Soto's contract, his highest offer.
I was right.
Yeah.
I was right.
All right.
New York Yankees, New York Mets. But before the New York Mets was the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants.
So
That's where we got our blue and orange.
if the Yankees come close to his highest contract offer, he would resign with the Yankees. He had a career year here with us. Like he had the most home runs that he's had throughout his career. He probably had the best batting average he had throughout his whole career here. Why not go back to a place where you've hit career? Yeah. Like, and I feel like that he loved the energy of the Bronx at Yankee Stadium. And
He
was,
loved the real call. Like
Yeah.
you could see the videos.
listen, he loved every second of it. And it was clearly noticeable.
Now it's just on sit
Like-
down for money.
like, again-
it's a money conversation. It's the team that has the most money they're
I
gonna
agree.
give him. Even though
But-
as before I mentioned, I did mention to you that I'm like I don't want Juan Soto as a Mets, and it's for a good reason. I'd rather have us spend that money on our bullpen that actually needs it more than us trying to find another
Yeah.
outfielder to put in.
Mm-hmm. No, I
That's
agree.
that's my personal
No,
opinion.
it makes
but-
sense.
No, yeah.
But hearing as like, our owners going after him, how he will fit into our lineup, and like, SNY talking about like the fact like how much the 2025 Mets will be with Juan Soto in our lineup. It's a lot.
No, yeah, I agree.
And
It is a lot.
It's a lot, and it does benefits us well. But if I'm realistically thinking like
I mean,
Mets aside,
do-
I
do
think it
you-
will be between the Yankees and who knows, maybe he goes back to Washington.
Nah, I don't think so.
You don't think Washington would give him the money? I know a lot of people are saying that
See,
they want.
I do think
they
that-
might sign. The Dodgers might sign him, but I feel like that's a use of him in his prime.
I do like understand that, but him going back to Washington. But the thing is that I feel like he loves New York too much. He loves the big markets.
Okay, but sometimes it comes down to
No, yeah.
matter how much you love the place.
No, listen, I agree. But also the thing is that does he have the best chance of winning a title in Washington though? Like besides the Yankees and the Mets, let's be honest. Besides Dodgers.
Yeah.
Dodgers, Yankees, and Mets. Like
Besides taking out the prime consensus of
like
who's going after him.
yeah, like
I say the Giants. I say San Francisco Giants. They gave money to Otani. They gave the money to Judge. They're not afraid to spend, especially since they're a team who has not spent in a good couple of off seasons. They have the money. They have the payroll. They could do it. If they want to, they probably could.
no, I agree.
It's
They
the same.
can.
They,
but
I feel like they have. If I'm correct, last season they gave offers to every star player that was a free agent. Correct.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I won't take them out the lead. They may not need him, or they may not. I know it's harder to hit in San Francisco because of the wall, but who knows? If I feel like they might be a team where it comes out they come out of damn fucking hat at this point.
I mean, listen, if you guys sign Soto, that means you have to let Pete Alonso walk. And are you really willing to let
Okay.
But the thing is
why
that,
are you gonna bring
are
my
you guys
polar bear into
really
this?
willing to let
Pete Alonso walk?
Yeah, because I feel like as like a Mets or as the Mets like organization, I feel like
I feel like they're
they're not.
50-50.
Nah.
I feel like I'm going to give you why I feel like they're 50-50. Personally, I feel like they're 50-50 because Pete Alonso for the past 2 years has not been the Pete Alonso he was before. And he hasn't had a significant injury to affect him. His swings, I want to say ever since he won his last home run derby. So it's been 2 years since then, right?
Yeah.
2 years. Ever since he won his last home run derby, he hasn't been the same Pete Alonso he was. And I feel like it's also Pete Alonso is very much, you hear it in him. He says he loves it in the Mets. There's only such a few players you've heard stay with one team their whole entire career.
I mean, it's not that rare.
It's not that rare, but I feel like it's not. You hear more about a person going from one team to another than.
No, yeah, like you do. No, I agree, you do. But I feel like that, he's integrated into the Mets culture.
I feel like
he's one with it.
He is what us fans love.
He's literally the face of the Mets. Let's be honest.
Him and Francisco Lindor.
I know, but I'm saying Alonso's been the face of the Mets for the last what?
Since he's been there.
Exactly. Since his rookie season, to be honest. I don't think.
I feel like the only reason why I say they probably will let him go is because.
I don't think so.
I'm saying why I think. I don't. A part of me doesn't think they're going to. A part of me thinks just because he opted out for the money we gave him. We haven't still heard from Menina. He better fucking sign. Please. He's another person who has, after interviews, said that he loves it. And obviously, in Queens. I feel like the only reason why I could see Pete Alonso leaving is not money-wise, but a better opportunity to get further. Because this is the first time in a while that him and Lindor has had the celebration they had while being a Met. So I feel like he's going to want to go to a team that has a more factual promise to making playoffs easier than the Mets.
I mean, listen, I think that it's going to get easier for them next season. I feel like if they keep the team together the way it is, just build that chemistry. That's the one way to do it.
It's a lot of them are.
I know.
We're on 1 year contracts.
I know.
Now we're have to sign, and a lot of them took out our.
It's like I said last week. If Soto stays with the Yankees, that chemistry just gets stronger after their first year together.
Where do you think Blake Snell's gonna go? The former ace of the Padres.
I would believe the Yankees, but that all depends on if we re-sign Soto. Because if we don't re-sign Soto,
you think he'll go to the Yankees too?
Well, it depends.
It all depends because if the Yankees let Soto walk, then they're in contention for another ace pitcher in Snell, and then also they could sign a first baseman that they desperately need, and they could possibly go after Pete Alonso.
My question is,
I know that the Yankees are interested in being active in the market, and they know that re-signing Soto won't make them as active as they would like to be in the market, considering there's holes at positions now. Because also Gleyber Torres is also a free agent too. You could possibly get those 3 guys for the one.
Yeah, a lot of people have been
So,
saying
it's been
that
iffy.
they might want Glover Torres to walk.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it all depends on how the contracts work out, though. But thing is that it's more of a possibility of them re-signing him rather than just letting him completely walk. So they could be more active in the
Yeah.
market rather than just.
I feel like
Not
this is
doing
going to be
anything.
very controversial. Do you think Harrison Bader might go back to the Yankees? Because he is a free agent.
I love Bader.
I love him, bro. I feel
See-
like I cannot talk shit about Bader.
Nah, Bader's been
Like, I
no,
could
he's
talk-
phenomenal.
I was talking shit about him when he was a Yankees, but after having him like for a season in
Yeah.
the Queens, I cannot.
See,
He did. He is a player that did decline after the second half,
Mhm.
but I think that's just how he is as like a player in a whole. I think he's just a player that performs great first half and declines second half, and that's fine. There's a lot of players like that.
I mean, listen, like I do not think that that the Yankees will sign Bader. I do think that Dominguez does take that outfielder position because the thing is that he's been.
What happened to Dominguez? Where the hell he at? Where's the damn alien?
I mean, listen, he's been injured last season against the Astros. Remember when
Yeah.
he had his Tommy John,
Yeah.
and then they've been bringing him up, keeping him down. He's been going through rehab, like, but in the
Didn't you say that you wanted them to bring him in the World Series?
he was up in the World Series, but he didn't hit. He was just a runner. But I feel like
he was there.
no, yeah,
He got the ring.
no, yeah.
When you're part of the roster, you get the ring.
no, yeah, I know that. But the thing is that what I'm saying is that I feel like you're gonna play him more. Like he's gonna get more ABs. He's gonna get more reps in the field. Like I think that he will take over that left fielder position, in
There's a
my opinion.
lot
And
of-
like Verdugo might walk. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm searching up like the amount of pitchers that like starting pitchers that are on free agents, and like
Yeah, it's a lot.
there's
a
so
lot.
many of them.
There's a lot
I
of
didn't
guys.
think it was a lot of them. I thought it was like a good like.
No,
I thought it was gonna be like a year like last year.
See-
Like you had a lot of relievers, you had a lot of closers, but you didn't have a lot of starters last year.
yeah, and that's why the Yankees are also hesitant. They need a bullpen now. Because
Both New York teams need
Yeah.
to fix their bullpens.
yeah, and that was their biggest
I feel like
concern about
that's-
re-signing Soto is that if they re-sign Soto, they can't.
Do the
Get-
bullpen.
Yeah, they can't get those guys.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying I don't think the Yankees are gonna offer him the money. First of all, if they want to focus
I
on their
think-
bullpen, they're not.
I think they do throw him an offer.
He hasn't got.
No,
He did get a qualifying offer, if I'm correct, right?
He did.
And he
I
opted
believe it's
out.
21 million.
Hold up.
No, that
I could check. Oh no, yeah, he just got a qualifying offer,
yeah. But what I'm trying
Oh.
to say is that I think that
but he declined it. That's the thing.
no,
to
I know,
mention.
but I do think that they will throw him an actual like number at
I
him.
think his agents are trying to aim big.
No, yeah, I agree, but again, I don't think the Yankees are not going to throw him an offer. I think they will,
You think they? Will?
regardless. Yeah,
Do you think so?
just to
too?
be in the running.
Yeah, I think they're gonna throw him an offer, but I don't think it's gonna be high enough to even be like considered. I think it's gonna be a symbolic offer.
Yeah,
More
This is
than, like,
if
an
you
actual-
like, yeah,
It-
like
it's
if you
go-
like where you're
You know what I
at.
mean?
Yeah, like a team
it's not.
friendly.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gonna be like a "we want you."
Yeah.
and we're
Yeah.
gonna show it through money type offer here.
I mean, listen, man, like
Not everybody can have a Stephen Cole.
everybody on the Yankees will love him back, even the fans. Really.
I know. Yeah, I know. That
It,
the
it was
fans
it was a
love him
different
lot.
it was a different type of energy out there. Like honestly, with Soto in the outfield.
Yeah, let's put Judge. I know they're saying like they're gonna sign Soto, and if not, they're gonna have Dominguez come and take the center field position
Yeah.
and keep Aaron Judge as DH. How do
Nah.
we feel about that?
I think he moves to. I think he goes back to right. To be honest, because the thing is that he was a great right fielder before Soto came. Dominguez does play left, in my opinion, but center field's a big question mark for me right now. But maybe you call up Spencer Jones. I have no clue what you do over there in that position.
But like, how do you feel Aaron Judge being in the DH spot after
Nah.
seeing
nah, I don't want to.
how much of a batting
No.
slump he could get into?
yeah, no.
No.
But like that's what they're planning to do though. That's what's
Nah.
rumored that the Yankees want to do. They want to move him into the DH
Well,
spot because
let's
No,
he's
it's
hope it
turning
not.
stays
what,
a
33?
rumor. Let's hope it stays a rumor and we don't have to
Yeah.
deal with that.
I mean, listen, I'd rather have him play first base rather than be in the right field.
How tall is he? He's like 6'7".
Yeah.
6'7"
play
guy
first
as
base.
first base. I feel like,
He
bro,
can play
put
first
Jose,
base.
put him compared to Jose Altuve.
Yeah. I don't.
Jose Altuve at first against Judge. He's just a little ant.
Nah, but like I honestly don't think Judge will be the DH. Keep it the way it is. Keep Stanton at the DH. Don't throw him in the field. I don't care, and just keep Judge in the outfield, regardless if it's center or right field. I think that's the
Yeah.
best thing
I know they're
because
saying
he's one of the best outfielders in the league.
I know they're
Like,
saying
why?
it because he's 33, and people think that he's gonna start declining
I
now
don't
that
ca-
he's 33.
I don't care how old you are. Just make the plays.
Clearly,
Like,
we know,
really?
Mike, you don't care about age.
Yeah.
You care about what they could do.
And with that, that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Bearcat Den. Please tune in next week for more. Thanks.